We've got NBA basketball in store for you here in Houston, Texas, the home of the Rockets, live on 2K Sports. Here in Houston, it's another home game for the Rockets. A look at the opening lineup for the Toronto Raptors presented by State Farm. We've got Jefferson, Tyreek Evans out there with Mo Williams. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Gibson in at the 4 spot. And for the Rockets, Jarrett Jack is out there with Harden. And it's Trevor Ariza. And it's Stoudemire. And it's Camby in at the 5. Home in the paint.
Well, you have to play him tough. He's just too good.
Well, the Rockets just missed being part of the playoffs. Based on the record, the 9th seed in the West. That doesn't get you anything, but a number next to your name, really, and good luck for next year. They were in it, though, right until the end.
Shot's good by Gibson.
They made that one look easy, didn't they?
Here is Harden. In the game against Philadelphia, very impressive. Jack against Williams. Jack up on top. A 23-point game for him in the win against Philadelphia.
And defensively, he was all over the court, forcing turnovers, putting a ton of pressure on the ball.
Tries again. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. Going back to the Rockets, only 2 games back of Utah for that 8th and final conference playoff position. Steve, looked like they just kind of ran out of gas near the end of the year.
Well, they were right there down the stretch, Kevin, but Utah was a little bit stronger. I think injuries may have played a little bit of a factor as well for Houston, but this is a team that you expect to be in the mix year after year. And Tyreek Evans is so tough to cover one-on-one. He's strong, he's quick, great ball handler, able to get by most defenders. I think the question with Evans is whether he can improve that outside shot. Can he get to the point where that stroke is really consistent? That's the question.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I was able to speak with Dwayne Casey for a moment. He told me he's a big fan of 6-man winner James Harden, saying he's really one of those right-brain type of players. He just sees the game a little bit differently. It's tough to game plan for him because he can hurt you so many ways. But when he's leading that second unit, you can bet he'll be our primary focus. Kevin, back to you.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. And coming back to Tyreek Evans, Steve, as you mentioned, shooting has been the challenge part for him.
Yeah, and he's worked exhaustively with the shot doctor trying to tinker with his motion and so forth, but the results have been slow in coming, and it's something that he'll just have to continue to chip away at, particularly during the offseason.
And some nice passing there by Houston. Kept alive. Kicks it out to Harden. He dishes it to Ariza. And another shot. Hits the bucket. Ariza's got his first basket of the night. For the Raptors, they come in off the loss to the Heat.
Yeah, every guy on the team could have done more in that game. I believe that. But instead, there was a lot of standing around and bad ball movement.
That's exactly right, Steve. I mean, there was plenty of blame to go around for the coaching staff, too. They've got to be included. They needed to do something to shake things up, but just stood pat. So everybody shares in the blame on this one.
Here's Harden. He drains the quick shot. Harden's got 5 now. Toronto trailing. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Houston this season. Williams kicks to Evans. Back to Williams. This one for 3. Snatched up. Outside Jefferson. Buries it from three-point range. Jefferson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Jack dishes to Stoudemire. Stoudemire drawing the double team. Jack. Here's Ariza. Rebounded. Back to Jack. Kicks it out to Harden. Goes back up. Rebound by the Raptors.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Knocks it loose. One-on-one fast break. Jefferson.
Explosive leaping ability.
Oh, that was pretty. And he just has that effortless knack for getting inside.
Well, you hate to be the guy asked to guard him because he's just so dominant, so quick and explosive. Tough to stay in front of him.
Some changes for Toronto. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Cousins. Davis comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Martin in for Richard Jefferson. Here's Stoudemire. There's the bucket. Good. And here are the Raptors now. Outside Williams. Haywood with a screen on Jack. Here's Williams. And again, it's Toronto converting. For the Houston Rockets, they come in off a good outing against the 76ers.
And they had such a balanced offensive approach in winning that game. You love to see a team that can get it done in so many different ways.
Yeah, it was really a rich and diverse attack. And why not? Every approach worked for them.
6 to shoot. Feeds it to Harden. Fires from the corner. Good, and Jack gets the assist. 7 points for James Harden. Here's Williams. 17 points for him last game against Miami. Martin up top. Over Harden. And Kevin Martin, the bucket on the assist by Evans. And here are the Rockets now. It's a 3-point game. The dish to Stoudemire. He gathers. And Davis pulls it down. The Raptors have gone 7 of 9 from the field. A really nice start offensively for them. Williams kicks to Evans. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Boy, the Raptors had a bumpy trip of it last year. I mean, in large part because they just couldn't get the points they needed away from home. Struggled on the road as a team.
Juwan Blair. He's checked in for Marcus Camby. You're right, Clark. Going back to the Raptors on the road, they finished in the bottom 3 in points scored when they were away from the Air Canada Center up in Toronto, Steve. They've got to do better when away.
Yeah, under 90 points a game for them on the road. And, it was an interesting season for Toronto under Dwayne Casey. They made defense a priority. And sometimes when you focus so much on defense, your offense suffers, and you kind of struggle to find that balance that you need. But I do believe Toronto is heading in the right direction.
And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. The 2K leaderboard is on the screen now to reveal the dominant scorers in the NBA over the last month. 5th on the list, James Harden.
Well, I'm sure the coach is pleased with his performance here recently. He's been on a nice little roll. If this keeps up, his team will definitely be moving in the right direction.
The Rockets making a switch here as Abuki's checked in. Then for the Raptors, Henson's checked in for Hayward. Williams comes in for Tyreek Evans. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Mo Williams. Kevin Martin on the wing. The pass to Blake. And the call will be against Steve Blake. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Well, when you think of Kevin McHale, you think of a Hall of Fame basketball player. In his days with the Celtics, he was phenomenal. 7 All-Star appearances. He won 3 championships, playing next to Robert Parrish and Larry Bird. Boy, he was something.
And Toronto has possession. Harden missing his last shot. Blake passes to Williams. Davis up top. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Now here's Henson. Davis dishes to Blake. With the clock winding down, it's hauled in by Blair. And going back to Kevin McHale's playing, he's one of the great low post scorers. 13th, in fact, all-time, Steve, in career field goal percentage.
Well, when you think of low post guys, to me, I think McHale, with that litany of moves he had down on the block, was just incredible. An amazing player and part of that dynasty in Boston during the 80s. That was something to watch.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Davis. And it's Waiters in for Terrence Williams. And Jack kicks to Azubuike. He was all alone on that one. Now just a 1-point Raptor lead.
Look at their scoring. Mid-range jumpers account for 6 of their last 10 points.
Well, defensively, they're doing a nice job of keeping them out of the paint, but you got to give them credit. They're knocking down shots.
Jack passes to Azubuike. Good, and Jack gets the assist. Azubuike's got 6.
Costly mistake at the other end to set up that fast break.
That's what you want to do after the turnover. Push the ball up the floor and strike quickly. He doesn't really scare a defense at all. You've seen him miss quite a few just like those. Well, you take a look at Dion Waiters out of Syracuse, guys, and I think he's got a chance to emerge as one of the sleepers of this draft. He's athletic, really improved his body his last season at Syracuse. He can score the ball. He's smart, tough, aggressive. I think this guy is going to be a heck of a player.
And Clark, you mentioned Waiters and his great scoring ability. I think he's also an underrated passer, almost a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio in college. He can really create for himself as well as others.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Taj Gibson's checked in for Henson. Evans comes in for Kevin Martin. And Mo Williams subbed in for Steve Blake. Now here's Williams, averaging 13 points a contest. And there's the foul. It goes on Taj Gibson. That is his first foul of the game. White, he's checked in for Stoudemire. Blair, the screen. And the foul on Mo Williams. That is his first foul of the game.
14 foul.
And Jack kicks to Harden. And that is good. Harden's got 9.
And when you play against him, guys, you know that it's going to be very tough to deny him if he gets in close. So you've got to body him. You can't let him get positioned down by the hoop. Otherwise, he'll just torture you down there.
And you know what else? I love how comfortable he is rising up and knocking down jumpers straight off his dribble. He doesn't need a fancy setup to be effective.
And the foul called on DeJuan Blair. That's his first foul. 1:46 left to play here in the first. Williams dishes to Evans. Pass to Jefferson. And there's the feed to Cousins. 5 to shoot. And there's Mo Williams on the assist by Cousins. He's got 5.
You know what? That was good defensive effort. But on a shooter like him, sometimes it just isn't enough.
Now here is Jack. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. He feeds it to Azubuike. Back to Jack. Harden outside. Blair, a screen on Evans. Here's Harden. And Houston again with the bucket.
He's been ready to roll offensively at the beginning of this game. He looks smooth out there.
Kicks to Evans. Back to Williams. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here.
Well, as we get this season underway, let's see how the Raptors have done so far in the NBA stats. Third in blocks. Opponent field goal percentage, that's something they really need to work on. They're in the bottom third of the NBA.
And to me, what really stands out with all those numbers you talked about, Clark, are the blocks, because they're a physical team. They're dominant in the paint, and they've got great length. And when they're between you and the basket, it's tough to get a shot over these guys.
Here's Jack after Tyreke Evans has scored. Jack with it. The rebound by Gibson. Gibson's got his third rebound on the night.
Yeah, he's struggled with his shot this quarter, and he's got to find a groove somehow.
Points in the paint have been the main course, or main entree, if you will. They just keep pounding it inside.
Well, they're seeing no resistance defensively in the paint area, so the defense has got to be tougher.
Harden can't hit. Azubuike against Williams. Evans passes to Gibson. Back to Evans. Outside Jefferson. Takes a three. Now Jack. And that one's good. And the Rockets lead by 2. So at the end of one quarter of play, still a close game.
Your Rockets, 27.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, Steve, Clark, what are your thoughts?
Boy, the offense has been so smooth. Everybody working together, and you can tell they're getting good shots pretty much every time down.
Yeah, they're a well-oiled machine there. I mean, they keep the ball moving, they keep themselves moving, and as a result, they're piling up the points.
So with Stoudemire sitting on the bench, here's the 5 for Kevin McHale right now. We've got Mills. Royce White is out there with Azubuike. Then it's Harden, and it's Blair in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Guys, a very interesting motivational object for the Raptors. Coach Dwayne Casey had a 1,300-pound boulder placed in the Raptors dressing room. He said it's from a story about a stone cutter. Every time a stone cutter hits a rock, it may not break. You may have to hit it 100 times, but on that 101st time you hit it, now you cause the rock to crack. Now the team motto has become pound the rock. It's a metaphor for working hard, eventually paying off. Casey said, we've got to keep pounding. We've got to keep hitting the rock, and eventually it will crack. That's why we work together every day to get better. Kevin, pretty hard to ignore a boulder that size in your locker room.
Well, it's so true, Doris. Thanks. Marcus Camby, he's checked in for Houston. Stoudemire comes in for White. And here's Mills for 3. No good.
Boy, he's got a nice-looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, a lot of times he'll hit that shot regardless of the defense. Well, Houston had an interesting season a year ago, Kevin, because remember they made that trade for Pau Gasol before the season started that was rescinded by the NBA. And then Kevin McHale, who was the first-year coach for the Rockets, he had to mend fences with the guys who were supposed to be involved in that deal, and he obviously did a nice job because the Rockets went on to have an excellent season.
Haywood kicks to Williams, takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
You know, how exciting is it, guys, to see him go hard to the basket like that? I love it.
It's always fun to see, and it's one of the sights you can count on when he's out there, for sure.
Yeah, but you've got to try to do more to slow him down. You can't play him so soft near the hoop.
Camby dishes to Stoudemire. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. Stoudemire's got 8.
That's outstanding hang-time improvisation right there.
A new group in now for the Raptors. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Haywood. Gibson comes in for Henson. Tyreke Evans is checked in for Terrence Williams. And Mo Williams subbed in for Waiters. Now here is Martin. He's coming off a 13-point game against Miami.
And Kevin, he was amazing defensively as well. I mean, he was racking up steals left and right.
And Houston for so long has had so many great centers, Steve. You're talking about that. You know, post players from Akeem Olajuwon to Yao Ming. They still seem, though, Clark, to be looking for that big man.
Well, the most important thing, Kevin, is that under Kevin McHale, the new coach, they can keep getting better as a team while they try to find that big man to bring in. This is, to me, what keeps this team fun to watch.
Well, he can shoot the three. We know that. But I'm not sure that he does. I mean, they weren't anywhere near him on that possession.
Mills passes to Azubuike. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Great action, back-to-back three-pointers at either end.
Sort of an anything you can do, I can do better situation going on right here, guys.
Now, here's Martin. Right now averaging 15 points a game. Good luck. And the Raptors tack on 2 more.
He exposed a flaw in the defense. No way they're supposed to be giving him that shot. Mo Williams, a former second-round pick out of Alabama. He's had a really nice career when you think about it. Excellent shooter. So he's pretty good from mid-range and beyond.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
And guys, you talk about a player like Mo Williams. Star players love a guy who can spread the floor for them. In other words, a guy who can knock down perimeter shots, whose defenders can't help off of him. And when you have a guy like Mo Williams who can shoot it that way, he's always enjoyable to play with.
Evans outside. Passes to Gibson. And Camby over to help. And Gibson kicks to Evans. And the powerful one-handed slam.
And you really don't want to give up too many dunks like that. One is too many.
Oh, yeah. No, certainly you're right. You know, that's making it way too easy for sure.
Yeah, major breakdown defensively. They've got to tighten things up here.
Stoudemire, defended by Gibson. And stolen by Cousins.
Defensive foul.
And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul. Here's Williams. Dishes it to Evans. Open shot. Cousins can't tie it up as that one misses. Here's Azubuike. And the shot is good. Azubuike's got 14 points for the game.
I'll tell you what, when you get this kind of effort and efficiency from him, they're a really hard team to beat.
What a great play to sacrifice his body and take the hit.
Yeah, I thought that was excellent awareness and anticipation to beat him to the spot there. That's the risky run by staying out there as he picks up his third.
That's his third personal foul. Second team foul.
Williams against Jack. Left side, Jack. Camby dishes to Jack. He passes it to Stoudemire. In for the dunk.
Throwing it down with one hand and making it look easy.
Easy and fun. He just thrives on making the D look silly.
Yeah, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
And the Raptors call time here.
It's been 4 years now and counting for the Raptors since they made the playoffs. Overall, the franchise found their way into the playoffs early, but it's been hard getting back there recently.
Some changes for Toronto. Haywood comes in for DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Jefferson in for Mo Williams. Raptors trail by 6, and with so many stars coming and going, Bosh and Tracy McGrady, it seems each time, Steve, that Toronto gets a team that can make the playoffs, they lose their centerpiece.
Yeah, that's going to be important in the future. Can they hang on to their players? It's one of the reasons I think they've gone with a more European feel to their club. It's an international city, Toronto is. And I think the franchise feels like if they draft European players, they're more likely to be able to hang on to them than they would be the American stars.
Now here is Jack. They lead by 6, their biggest margin. Stoudemire. The leader, no good. And here's Evans, 11 points in the game. He kicks to Haywood. Camby on him. Haywood, the pass to Gibson. And Camby over to help. Outside for Jefferson. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
And you take a look now at some of the numbers for Amari Stoudemire. Second in field goal percentage. And he's really worked hard at his offensive game. He ranks in the top 10 in that category, points per game.
And let's look at his phenomenal field goal percentage again, Steve. I mean, that's really a function of good teammates, a good system, but most of it is just taking good shots and making most of them.
Well, you know, by now we're all used to seeing the goggles for Amari Stoudemire. He started wearing them in his 7th season in the league after suffering a detached retina. And that was a big blow for that Suns team. I was the general manager that year, and that basically cost us the playoffs.
Going back to the goggles for Stoudemire, he joins a pretty distinguished group of big men and forwards who have donned that eyewear.
Well, the guy that I think about was my boyhood idol, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He made them fashionable way back when. You know, as a scoring big man, you're going to get banged around a little bit. You're going to get smacked and bumped and hit. At the end of the day, officials can only protect you so much. And if you've had a history with any type of eye injury, it makes sense to put those goggles on.
Here's Jefferson.
And early on in his career, he was known as an athletic slasher. And as his career has evolved, Jefferson has become more of a spot-up shooter, but he's still a very effective player.
Yeah, you know, the Spurs groomed him into that role. He's trying to get back to attacking off the dribble a bit more. But, you know, offensively, three-pointer probably still his strong suit. Camby sets the screen for Harden. Teardrop shot. It's laid in by Stoudemire. Stoudemire's got 15.
Well, it's been nice, efficient work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's the sign of a mature, poised player.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, guys, Dominic McGuire is a journeyman combo forward. He can really guard 4 positions, and as he continues to work on his shooting, it's been his aggressive defense that's been his meal ticket to this league. Asked about his defensive mindset, McGuire said, "I feel like less of a man if somebody scores on me. That's just the way I feel." Guys, you have to love a defender that takes getting stops personally.
He really is all effort. Thanks, Doris. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. Let's take this chance to look at the teams that have been the league's most efficient passers this past month. In third, the Rockets.
And what really stands out during this recent stretch is just how well they're passing the ball. This is a club that is very unselfish.
Now here's Camby, looking for his first bucket of the game. Stoudemire kicks to Camby. Dropping up for 2. And the Rockets lead by 13.
Offensively just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Evans kicks to Jefferson. Martin up top. All sorts of time. That's good. Martin's got his second basket of the night. Rockets leading by 11. Now a timeout called by Houston.
You know, Houston for the last several years has tried to get a star player on the roster, but it's so difficult to do. There's only about 10 of them in the entire league. But what they've done is they've put a lot of good players on the floor. They've built their asset base, and they're poised to make a deal when the right one comes their way.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. DeJuan Blair, he's checked in for Camby. Wright comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And Trevor Ariza is subbed in for Kalena Azubuike.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Really, if you don't have a top 10 player in the league, you just continue to gather talent, and that's what the Rockets have really done.
Yeah, and you call that stockpiling assets. If you aren't building around someone, then you get as many good assets as you can because they're always movable, and I think Houston has done a nice job with that. They're in a position to add pieces or either trade for additional pieces now.
Harden kicks to Jack. Back to Harden. From outside the arc. Another miss by Harden. Raptors trail by 10. Outside Martin. Doubled by Jack. Martin dishes to Cousins. And the foul called on Royce White. That's his first foul. Evans kicks to Martin. Back to Evans. Good ball movement here by the Raptors.
And now, guys, still early in the second quarter, and that's his second foul. I'd be anxious to see if they leave him in here.
The Raptors have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7.
Yeah, they've just been an ordinary team in terms of free throw shooting this year, guys. About 75%.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
Jack passes to Harden. Wide, a screen on Evans. Kicks it out to Harden. It's stolen by Davis. Fast break Toronto. Here's Williams. Kicks it out to Evans. Back to Martin. He feeds it to Evans. The kick out to Williams. He dishes it to Davis. Kevin Martin on the wing. Clock at 6. And again, no good by Toronto.
Another rebound gobbled up. They are pounding the boards.
And a big part of the lead, guys, is because of the work they've done on the glass. I mean, they have the lead because they've rebounded well.
The basket good off the assist from Evans. 6 points for Martin.
Well, they're not shooting as many from outside here in the second quarter.
Well, they were shooting well early on. I like their spacing and their offensive flow. I think they need to get back to that.
Jack for 3. Here's White. And he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion. So he'll head to the free throw line.
2 shots.
First trip to the line for him here.
And I know he's got to be upset at himself for shooting so poorly at the line. So I would think he'll be doing everything he can to bring those numbers up. By any measure, it was not a memorable season for the Raptors last season. But they can take away that they held their own against the West, Kevin. 8-10 against the Western Conference.
Not bad. Catching up on the changes for Houston. Azubuike comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Mills in for Jarrett Jack. They get it back. Second chance effort. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. Taking a look at Charlotte. Of course, there's the Rockets. Tied right now. 8-10, like you talked about, Clark, might not sound like much, but it is better than a lot of the teams, Steve, in the East who made the playoffs.
Kind of a surprising number, really, when you think about how strong the Western Conference was and what a poor season Toronto had. 8-10 sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Roger Mason has checked in for the Rockets. Then for the Raptors, Taj Gibson's checked in for Davis. Waiters comes in for Kevin Martin. And Mo Williams subbed in for Tyreke Evans. For 3, Azubuike. Raptors trail by 6.
Opportunity to go 2 for 1 here if they want it.
Steve, let's see if they go for it.
And Mills with a clear path to the hoop. Count the bucket.
Patrick Mills.
Mills has got his first bucket of the night.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for him. At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
Now Cousins. Following the three-point attempt by Terrence Williams. Mason, and we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
Jump ball.
And the Raptors with the ball. The 3. Good. And it's an 11-point Rocket lead. 9 seconds left to play here in the half. And the foul on Mo Williams. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Well, I love it. He gets there first, absorbs the contact. Nice play defensively.
No fluff there. He took that one right in the chest.
5 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Here's Mason. So we've reached the end of the first half of play.
Your Rockets, 56. The Raptors.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here. Here in what has been so far a runaway game.
Take a look at what Harden's been doing. 15 points, and he's gotten a three-pointer to fall for him, too.
Yeah, he's no one-dimensional player, Clark. He can do damage in several ways, including from long range.
So the Raptors 5 right now. They've got DeMarcus Cousins. Steve Blake is out there with Tyreek Evans. Then it's Jefferson, and it's Gibson in at the power forward. Here's Mills. Following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins. And Mills kicks to White. Feeds to Mills. And some nice passing there by Houston. Mason.
Well, second chance points are going to be key. They've got to keep this team off the boards.
And, Steve, any slip-ups boxing out can really cost you there.
Mills can't hit.
Boy, I'm shocked he didn't make that one. He usually knocks that one down with ease.
From outside, off the mark. Rockets leading by 9. Mason kicks to White. Shot's good.
They're really making a point of taking it inside and scoring from close range.
Well, you have to give some of the credit, or actually the blame, I should say, to the defense. They are not doing anything in the paint area.
Evans.
Rockets foul. Shooting for Toronto.
You know, the Raptors were really terrible defensively in 2011. And even though they didn't quite make the overall strides they wanted to last year, they were able to get closer to where they need to be.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. And Toronto also making a switch. Williams has checked in. Harden against Evans. Fires from the wing. That's good.
Shooting for Houston.
17 points for James Harden. And to turn a team around like the Raptors defensively, you know, Steve, it's going to take some time.
Well, it always takes time when you take over a new team like Dwayne Casey did a year ago, and you don't have defensive-minded players. You can scheme all you want, but if you don't have the talent, it's not going to work. So I would look for Toronto to continue to try to improve their roster from a defensive standpoint.
Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. It's stolen by Jefferson. Evans dishes to Gibson. No luck. Good work defensively by Stoudemire.
Yeah, just 1 for 4 here in the third quarter, so very slow start for this club.
There's the dish to Harden. Back to Stoudemire. 6 on the shot clock. Ball's knocked loose. The turnaround hits the bucket. Harden's got 5 points now this quarter.
Now you got to love the footwork. How about that turnaround? James Harden has become one of the best players off the bench in the NBA, and anytime you get a guy who can score like that and create offense, it's a tremendous weapon to have coming off your bench.
And going back to Harden, very fashion forward. It's not just the beard, it's the bow tie, the thick rim glasses.
Yeah, he calls Baron Davis his big brother, and they look like they go to the same stylist, that's for sure. I think it's the LA hipster thing, that swag that they're flowing with going on. But it's all good because Baron is a good role model for a guy like Harden. And to Harden's credit, he's latched himself to that wagon.
And the Raptors call time here.
You know, nobody really knew how good the Rockets would be after the Yao Ming era ended, but last year was a good one for them. They were deep, They played around Luis Scola in the post. They had excellent guard play with Kyle Lowry and Goran Dragic. This was a team that was tough to beat, especially in Houston. They controlled their home floor well.
Back to Cousins. Now the pass to Williams. Here's Gibson. And again, Toronto no up.
1 for 5 on offense. A slow start here in the second half.
Harden with it. Evans picks him up. Harden the pass to Jack. Launches a 3. No good. So the Raptors will take it the other way. And the Rockets would end up winning 2/3 of their home games, Steve, going 22-11. Just what you want to see from a team rebuilding, Clark, as their core is being put back together, capturing whatever they can at home and then extending it from there.
Exactly. Defending home court, really important. We all know that. And a lot of changes this offseason. It'll be interesting to see how this new look roster stacks up.
Evans off the pick from Williams. They need this. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Evans has got 3 assists in the game.
That's all the space he needs, guys. He'll make you pay every time if you give him that shot.
Now here is Jack, averaging 13 points a contest. Camby sets the screen for Jack to the inside. Off the pick. And Harden with the basket on the assist from Jack. Jack's got his 9th assist in the game now. Here's Williams. 15 points in the game. Evans kicks to Gibson. Now the feed to Williams. Straight up. Gets it to go. Williams has got 5 points now in the quarter.
I think he's done his part to try to keep him in this game. It's been a solid effort from him, guys.
Harden gets to Ariza. The kick out to Jack. Uncovered. And Houston again with the bucket.
Great display of that mid-range touch right now.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking a step in and knocking down a few. I know you were a great marksman from the three-point line, but sometimes people only see the game in threes and layups. That mid-range game is alive and well here tonight.
It's Jefferson outside. Can't get it to go. Good D by Ariza.
Shot seems to be a little awry today, just off a fraction. They've got to have him pick it up, though, and soon.
And Harden comes to help. Evans with it, and it's Harden picking him up. Jack against Williams. Jefferson. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Jefferson's got 8. Rockets leading by 15. Outside Jack. He's against Williams. Kicks it out to Ariza. Back to Jack. Houston moving it around. Here's Harden. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. Here's Evans. Nice D from Camby.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Harden outside. Harden left side. Another miss by Harden. Raptors trail by 15. Outside Jefferson. Pass to Gibson. Camby on him. High post Cousins. Outside Williams. Right side Williams. That's good. Williams has got 19 points.
That shooting percentage is off the charts, guys. He's really hitting his shots today.
Harden against Williams. The 11-footer. Good on the shot. And now 24 points for James Harden.
Another inside bucket. They've had a huge edge in points in the lane.
That's what every coach preaches, inside out, reversible clothing.
Open shot, Cousins. Good, great play by Williams to set it up. 7 points here for Cousins. He feeds it to Stoudemire. Working on Gibson. Gathers. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Amare Stoudemire.
Well, you think about Amare Stoudemire, his tremendous scoring ability at the power forward spot. He's so explosive, although lost a little bit of his pop in the last few years, but not really a traditional back-to-the-basket guy. More of a face-up, jump shoot, or blow by you and make you look silly guy.
Dewan Blair, he's checked in for the Rockets. A new group in now for the Raptors. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Cousins. Davis comes in for Taj Gibson. Kevin Martin, he's checked in for Richard Jefferson. And it's Waiters in for Tyreke Evans. The shot by Williams, no good. You wonder for Stoudemire, as some of his explosiveness dissipates over the years, whether he'll start to develop his back-to-the-basket game a little bit more.
I think he'd be well served to do just that, Kevin, but I don't know if he necessarily will. That first step has been a devastating weapon, and I think he's actually better when he's able to face other defenders. I mean, it puts them in a real bind. If he can continue to add strength, then I think he will be a little more effective with his back to the basket.
And that's the way it's been. A big margin for them in the rebounding category.
You know, sometimes you got to get down and dirty and do the dirty work. And in this one, they've done it, and it's paid off on the scoreboard in a big way.
A 3-ball. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. And a look now at our 2K leaderboard to see which wingmen have come away with the most steals over the past month. Well, you take a look at Ariza, 5th in the league in patrolling the paint.
Just superb athletic defenders right there, all of them, and aggressive too. They challenge every shot.
You'd really love to see every player devote the kind of energy to their defense that this group of small forwards does.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. White, he's checked in for Stoudemire. Azubuike comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Mills in for Jarrett Jack. Rockets leading by 16. Now, here is Harden. 24 points for him. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here.
Statistically speaking, let's see where the Rockets sit right now. Tops in scoring, second in assists, and they're ranked 3rd in the league in steals, active hands, and quick feet.
And the points that they're scoring per game that you talked about is really a result of great offensive execution. And this is a club that works well together. They get great looks, and they'll also score in transition.
And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at Golden State and checking out Toronto. They're tied right now. Taj Gibson's checked in for Toronto.
You know, for so long and so many years, the Rockets have been built around a dominant center, Kevin, and haven't been a run-and-gun team, an up-tempo team. But last year, under new coach Kevin McHale, they ramped up the pace quite a bit.
Here's Martin. He squares up and sinks it. Martin's got 8. Mills dishes to Mason. For 3. And the shot is good. Back to the Rockets, you see their roster, and they are so athletic. So to make the most of it, they wanted to catch teams in transition a bit more. I thought it was a pretty good way of attacking teams there, Steve.
Yeah, I like what Kevin McHale did a year ago. They finished 3rd in the league in field goals attempted, and so they really tried to attack and force teams to respond to that transition offense. And that's what you have to do, especially when you don't have great half-court superstar players who can take over a game.
And it's Toronto with the rebound. Davis has got 4 rebounds in this game.
That's his 2nd personal foul.
Raptors trail by 17. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. Here's Williams. They grab their own miss. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Difficult to explain that turnover. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did, but he really lost his place on the court.
Tyreke Evans is checked in for Terrence Williams. Mason against Martin. Mason kicks to Mills. Kicks it to Mason. Houston moving it around. From the arc, Mills. White the pass to Blair. Azubuike for 3. Scooped up. Gibson with the steal. Evans dishes to Gibson. And the rebound goes to the Rockets.
And they have a huge advantage on the board.
Well, it's been one-sided so far, both on the rebounding side and the scoreboard.
Here's Azubuike. He's got 14. Blair, a screen on Martin. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Richard Jefferson.
Here's Williams. He's got 19. Pass to Evans. Dishes to Gibson. Blair on him. Back to Evans. Jefferson with the 3. Can't hit. Well, through 3 quarters of play. Down double digits in
Your Rockets. 78. The Raptors. 62.
Rockets leading by 17. So with Stoudemire sitting on the bench, here's the 5 for Kevin McHale right now. They've got Roger Mason. Blair is out there with Royce White, and it's Mills, and it's Azubuike in at the 3 slot. Now here's Gibson. Williams kicks to Martin. Gives him the lead pass. Gibson. And the rebound goes to Roger Mason.
And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he has gone ice cold here.
Nicely done. They've really attacked effectively in transition.
There's no doubt about it, Steve. Their quickness has given them an advantage. I mean, I've liked the way they've pushed the ball all game.
The Rockets shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. Here's Mills. He's guarded by Williams. He kicks it to Azubuike. His 3-pointers off the mark.
He hit a couple in the first, but so far he's been unable to get uncorked here.
Williams kicks to Gibson. Back to Williams. He passes to Waiters. To the middle. Martin. An easy 2 points on the layup.
Well, he's been scoring pretty well on just a few attempts. It might help them out if he was a bit more assertive.
He dishes it to Blair. Feeds to Azubuike. Off target from 3-point range.
Well, in most games he can knock it down from deep, but it just isn't there for him in this one.
Martin, the pass to Williams. The shot from the low post is good. Williams has got 9 points now in just the second half.
And saw just a little bit of daylight, went right to the rim.
And Mills kicks to Mason. Azubuike covered by Martin. The dish now to White. The pass to Mills. Offline with his 3.
He's just been ice cold. I mean, he cannot find the range.
Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
The Raptors making a switch here. Evans is checked in. Shots good by Mills.
That mid-range jumper, just another one of his weapons.
Defensive foul. That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
Williams dishes to Martin. The feed to Gibson. Pass to Williams. From past the arc. And it's White with the rebound. White's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Blair. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. First free throw is good.
2 shots.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. Raptors trail by 17. Williams gets a screen from Cousins. Outside Williams. Evans passes to Gibson. Martin kicks to Cousins. Wide on him. Back to Martin. Just 4 to shoot. Over Mason. Offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Evans. Outside Martin. Shoots over Mills. Here's Gibson. Tough sequence there. They just couldn't get it to fall.
Big lead on the boards usually equals a big lead in the game. This team is on cruise control.
Well, the rebounding differential is double digits already, so this is a team that just looks bigger and tougher than the opponent.
And Toronto has possession. The Rockets making the shot. Stolen by Mason. And now, here's Mason, the fast break opportunity. White. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Williams has got his third rebound tonight. And the call will be against Kevin Martin. That's his first foul.
Well, I love it. He gets there first, absorbs the contact. Nice play defensively.
No flop there. He took that one right in the chest.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for Toronto. Outside Jack. Camby sets the screen for Jack. It's stolen by Jefferson. Evans attacking. Gibson inside. Fades. Outside Williams. Three-pointer. And yes, sir, that one drops. Williams has got 5 points now in the quarter.
He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
Jack with it. Williams picks him up. And the foul on Mo Williams. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game.
Yeah, he'll make the walk of shame back to the bench. He gets to watch the rest from the sideline.
Steve Blake's checked in for Toronto. And the Raptors also making a change. Kevin Martin is checked in for Steve Blake. Stoudemire with the bucket.
And Kevin, keep an eye tonight on how many plays he keeps alive for his club. Just the way he works, the way he moves, the way he anticipates plays before they happen. Constantly looking to get an offensive board.
That's exactly right, Steve. But also, he's a tremendous finisher. I mean, it doesn't matter if he draws contact on his way to the rim or not. He'll find a way to get it to go.
On the clock. The offensive rebound. Here's Cousins. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws.
That free throw, no good.
Well, the question for DeMarcus Cousins has never been talent. It's just about maturity and consistency. Early last season with Sacramento, there were reports that he had asked the Kings organization for a trade. They responded by basically telling him he needed to grow up. But you know what was encouraging was that he really played better as the season went along. Got a ton of talent. If he can ever put it together, he could be an all-star.
Here's Gibson. And again, Toronto no luck.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
Now, remember, he did make a three-pointer in the first half, so we'll see if he can find the range here in the second.
Since last season, he improved his scoring and Clark his rebound.
And I think he started to really take better advantage of his strength inside, Kevin. He has a lot of skill to do a lot of different things as an inside player. But his size, strength, and good hands make him special.
Third team foul.
Evans against Harden. He feeds it to Camby. Puts it up from 12. The rebound by Gibson.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Or the defenders have to make sure they tag him.
Wasted no time on that one.
They're down right now, trying to stay in the game with the 3-ball. They've shot a lot more here in the second half than they did in the first half. And I'm not sure I agree with that strategy.
Stoudemire dishes to Ariza. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Raptors trail by 17. Outside Martin. For the 3. Amari Stoudemire with the rebound. Stoudemire's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Jack passes to Harden. Stoudemire with a screen on Evans. Harden kicks to Stoudemire. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Just got a little careless on that pass. They should be able to connect on those.
Raptors shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. 3-pointer, Martin. And it's Martin again missing.
I think it's going to be tough for them to trim this deficit if he keeps missing those kinds of shots, Kevin. I mean, they need his points.
Raptors shooting 41% for the game. Evans attacking. Back to Martin. Over Ariza. And there's Martin. That's good on the assist by Evans. Evans has got his 4th assist in this one. Now a timeout called by Houston.
Well, he wants to get everybody on the same wavelength, that's for sure. He may change up some things here as well.
Looks to me like he saw something that wasn't on the plan and picked now as the time to address it. I don't have a problem with that.
Houston making some changes. Tony Turioff is checked in for Campbell. And it's Azubuike in for Trevor Ariza. Some changes for Toronto. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, Kevin McHale had some advice for the team in that last break. He laid one thing out there for them, saying, now is the time to eliminate any chance of a mistake. We've got a good lead. Don't take any unnecessary risks or commit a silly foul. Smart basketball from here on out.
Here's Blake. No luck. And it's Houston the other way. Martin with it. Over Waiters on the mark with the 15-footer. That's 28 points for James Harden. Raptors trail by 17. Now Blake. Outside Williams. Kicks it to Blake. Just 5 on the clock. Haywood in the post, headed by Stoudemire. And the foul on Amari Stoudemire. That's foul number 2 for him. Passes it to Waiters. Second shot opportunity. Dishes it to Williams. Hit from the high post.
Well, when the double team's in place, it really spreads the floor offensively.
Here's Harden on the wing. He kicks to Azubuike. Fires from deep. Haywood grabs the board. Haywood's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Blake kicks to Williams. 18 feet out. Rockets with the rebound.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one. Short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
And here's Harden. Straight up. And Stoudemire with the basket on the assist by Harden. And now 24 points for Stoudemire. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Blake kicks to Williams.
2 minutes remaining.
Davis up top. He passes to Haywood. Just 5 to shoot. It's stolen by Stoudemire. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Harden with it. Picked up by Davis. Here's Jack.
That's his second personal foul.
And the Rockets making a change here. White's checked in. And some changes here for the Raptors. A minute 42 left in the 4th quarter of this one. Harden dishes to Turio.
Toronto foul call. Shooting for Houston. Ronnie Turio.
He's off on the first. A new group in now for the Raptors. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Cousins. Henson comes in for Taj Gibson. Waiters, he's checked in for Tyreke Evans. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Kevin Martin. He dishes it to Waiters. Leans inside. And the shot is good. We've got 1:23 left in the 4th. Here's Harden. Feeds it to White.
Well, in the recent collective bargaining agreement, one of the rules that was changed was how the D-League can be used by NBA teams. And it's now been ruled that players with 3 or less years of experience in the league could be sent down. And they've added exceptions after that as well. I think it's a good rule.
Patrick Mills. He's checked in for Jarrett Jack. Blake passes to Haywood. And Harden comes to help. Here's Waiters. There's the dish to Jefferson. There's the steal. Here is Harden. There's 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. There's the pass to White. The feed to Azubuike. Shot clock at 6. Here's Harden. The rebound by Blake. Going back to the D-League, Steve, it really does seem to be a better use of the league for the NBA. Now they can grow young talent a little easier.
I think it makes perfect sense. Sometimes a player might be injured. Maybe he gets a rehab assignment in the D-League. It makes the D-League more viable, but it also gives the teams and the players more opportunities to help the player.
Now, here is Harden. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. They put on a show tonight.
Your Rockets. The Raptors. 80.
One. 1, 2. Check me out right here, yo.
Yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, then we might as well shine together. Better now than never, business before pleasure. P. Diddy and the fam, who you know do it better. Yeah, right, no matter what, we airtight. So when you hear something, make sure you hear it right. Don't make it out of yourself by assuming our music keeps you moving. What are you? You know that I'm 2 levels above you, baby. Hug me, baby. I'ma make you love me, baby. Get crazy, ain't gon' get you. And that jealousy is only gonna leave you broke. So the only thing left now is hard for these cats. Hard for these cats. I'ma win cause I'm too smart for these cats. While they making up facts, we waking up flat.
In the commission, you ask for permission to hit him. He don't like me, hit him while wifey was with him. You heard of us? Most shady, been on the low lately. The feds hate me. They say you hesitate me. I'm in your mama crib waiting, duct taping. Your fam, destiny lays in my hands. Francis, M to the is phenomenal. Body abdominal, rhyme a few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I kick a few flows. Excellence is my presence. Never tense, never hesitate. Real sick, long nights I perform like Mike. Anyone, Tyson, Jordan, Jackson, action. Ridiculous, and if my ends you touch, kids or girl you touch, in this world I clutch. Used to call me Fatso, now you call me Castro. My rap flows militant. You overdid it, Holmes. You in the danger zone. You shouldn't be alone. Hold hands and say it like me. The most shady, Frankie baby, fantastic, graphic, trying to make dough like Jurassic. Parked in with the spark kids who see me, only me, the underboss of this Holocaust. Truly yours, Frank White.
We got the real live hit from front to back to my people in the world with that. Where my soldiers is at? Where my soldiers is at? Where my real live soldiers? Where my soldiers is at? We got the real live hit from front to back to my people in the world with that. Where my soldiers is at? Where my soldiers is at? Where my real live soldiers? Where my soldiers is at?
To go platinum. Said I live it up till all the cash gone. Ain't that